Okay, thanks for taking a quick look at the game here. This is currently what's in the box. So we've got some race cards. I just pulled out two for this demo. Class cards, player aid. Then we've got, these would be the starting cubes and the cubes that are left in the box. The shop deck, which we talked about. Let's see what you think of that, whether you think it's needed or what it adds. And then I'll show you, this is to help just show turn order. Okay, here we go. So this would be set up for 2 players. You got a race card for each, for Hawkman, and a class card for each warrior cleric. And what's shown on these right now is health, just the same as it's always been, how much damage you can take. Starting initiative the first turn. This is for the 3 different colors of gems, how they value each one. So this one, blue gems are worth 3 points, silver 2, pink 1, and you can see it's different for this guy. And the class card now gives you an ability. And these no longer take like a potion to use. You can just do them once every turn. So on your turn, you can use your ability. That's a little simpler. And the big dice, this is what they're for, to remember turn order because it changes. So you can see, this guy's got the lowest turn order, so he gets this dice here saying he's first. And this one gets second. 2 players, it's not as big a deal, but the more players you have, the more you need those dice. Now we're all set up to play. Drop the dungeon. And here's what's different now, is that all the rest of the cubes are left in the box. With a cube box like this guy, this should work even better where you're blind drawing stuff out of the box. It keeps the cubes a little more hidden. But the deal is that on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is reach into this box without looking. You're going to take 3 cubes, and you're going to drop them in wherever those end up. So that keeps things just going. A lot more happening in the dungeon each turn. Then you do the loot phase, same as it's always been. If I make a room here, I'll take all this stuff. Right. He goes first, he gets all that. Of course, I could have chosen to use my ability and, counted his as, I could count one of the monsters as a pillar on a turn. And this guy goes, right? Oh, sorry. One more thing. So, to complete your turn now, so you explore, drop the cubes, you loot a room, you collect that stuff, and then, this is the shop thing, we're going to have the shop set up. So this will just be off to the side of the table. And we draw 3 items. Alright, so let's take a quick look. So these are 3 available to all players now. First one, Brisk Boots, costs 1 to buy. It makes you a little lighter for turn order. This one just scores more points, so it costs 2, but it's going to be worth 4. And this one over here costs 3, and all your cubes that would score 1 are going to score you 2 points instead. So let's get back to your turn order then. So you explore, then you loot the dungeon, then you get a chance to shop. So this guy actually he could take his gold and come on up here, spend it to buy Brisk Boots. Right, and now, he's got these. And I'll show you how that works at the end of the round. And as soon as he buys something, a new card comes out to replace it here. So this is another point score. All right. I'm going to show you the other guy's turn too. This is kind of a neat power. So what this one's ability is after they explore, so they drop their 3 cubes into the dungeon, and then they blindly draw a cube from the box. In this case, I drew a gold one. I put that back, but he can now flick any gold cube, which is kind of cool. So let's just say, yeah, he flicks this guy here. All right, whatever. And then he's gonna loot a room. Let's see, I don't know. Let's say it's this one here. Actually, let's make it one that has a monster. Say it's not that. Let's say it is like this one here. I don't know, let's say all this is in here. Doesn't matter. So he gets this. And this is a troll. Now the troll takes away 2 of your life points, which sucks. But the bigger guys, the trolls and the dragon, now when you defeat one, they get you stuff. So I defeated the troll. I draw and keep the top card of the loot deck. So it's like some good thing he had on it. Right? And this is something that's going to make my white gems score extra. Right, so I get that for defeating the troll, which I thought was kind of an exciting thing. And then the end of my turn, right, I could spend these 2 gold over here. Let's say I just buy this necklace, it's worth points. Alright, so he's got the necklace, he's got this. We immediately replace this. Oh. Okay, and then it would be the end of the round, the end of the level. And this is kind of a neat thing, so we total up weight. Alright, so we count basically everything we got. This guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weight. This guy over here has 1, 2, 3. Alright, so he's still the lightest. He keeps first turn order. This guy gets second. But this is where it could have changed. If this guy was lighter, we'd be changing these dice around to show that turn order's changed. Actually, I got that wrong. This guy's even lighter. He's got 3 weight of stuff, but this subtracts 2, so he actually only weighs 1, which is crazy light for the first turn. I wanted to quick show you what scoring would be like. Let's just skip and pretend this is the end of the game. So when you score at the end, monsters aren't worth anything, but of course the bigger ones got you loot, which is essentially points. So let's just see what this guy's point total would be right now. So we spent gold on these, but they're still worth what it says, what we spent. So the gold wasn't wasted. Right, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4 points right there. Actually, this one scores double, so it's 4, 5, 6. The pink gem is worth 1, that's 7. This guy is worth 3, that's 10. And then he'd get, 2 for each of those, that'd be 14. Except this says white gems score 1 extra, so that's actually 16 total points there. That's how that works. Let's see this guy. So he's got 1 worth 2, 3, 4, and then these 2 chests. Now, one of the other problems with the game has been I want to keep players from trying to calculate each other's scores. In the first version I showed to Jason, I was keeping some of this information face down. It was actually, this was on this card and it was face down. But we really wanted to keep this nice visual going, so it's face up again. So technically people can calculate each other's scores as they're playing, so there is still a little bit of that AP danger where people are totaling up and seeing, oh gosh, is there enough points here for me to win? I do think there are 2 things that are fighting against that a little bit. One is that somebody could hypothetically buy some card that changes their scoring like this, so it's a little bit harder to calculate with as much of kind of like an absolute knowledge of what their scores are going to be. The other thing that I'm leaning towards right now is instead of these chests just being worth this many points, rolling the chest to open them if they're paired with a key during scoring. So you would wait till scoring, then I'd roll these dice. All right, I got 7. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. I think personally, and Jason doesn't like that rolling at the end, but I think it's kind of exciting, and also really is as long as a couple of players have these, you don't know what they're going to roll at the end of the round, which I think keeps people from counting scores. All right, the last thing I'm going to mention is just something I'm considering adding. I haven't added it officially yet, but I got rid of the tomes. I'm considering adding them back again as what I'm calling spell books, which is just 5 of them. Only a couple of them dropped in the initial drop, and the rest come out in the box. But they would be like the old tomes in terms of set collection. Like if you have 1, it's worth 1, 2 worth 3, 3 worth like 7, and up and up and up. And you'd have this choice. So the reason why I'm calling them spell books is you could either keep them to score sets like that, or discard them to flick any cube in the dungeon. So you could either choose to try to get a big set of these, or if you just end up with one randomly and it's only worth 1 point, they have, instead of being kind of useless, you can choose to ditch it to flick anything in the dungeon, just something to keep possibilities open for players. I'm on the fence about whether or not to include that, but see what you think.